Okay, then tell me about times, maybe recently, where you have kind of turned the cannons on things that have pissed off your crowd and what that experience is like.
You know, there's a good example that sort of has to do with you.
Oh.
So you released that video with Dennis Prager.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Where he, and I don't know how many times people have talked to you about this, but when he talked about pornography and the things he said about pornography. And so we wrote like a bunch of jokes about Dennis Prager and people not wanting to shake his hand anymore. And
okay, so the point was, all right, let me preface it.
Yeah.
Like, he made some remark. Can I just first say, because it's what's funny is he came on my show and hung himself. I kept trying to give him more rope or to cut him down, and he kept climbing back up to do it. But I feel like I'm one of his biggest defenders, even after that, because I love the man. Totally. He was a pleasure to talk to. And I think, he stated that he's of the opinion that if someone is involved in child pornography, they should be executed and things like that. So I think there's people who are really, I think some of the things he said were despicable and wrong. I think they're just false.
Yeah.
But it was like two guys having a conversation and just sort of speaking freely. And again, I kept, So don't get me wrong. I think he's dead wrong. Mm-hmm. But I also... I also see the ways he's been maybe mischaracterized, because it's not like he's like, child porn's great, but he did, but then he did say masturbation was fine, and I was like, I think it's evil, and he's like, I think it's great. So anyway, so that's where the Babylon Bee came in, and tell us,
Dennis,
and they were doing, hey Chief, in the office, no one wanted to, you went after him hard.
Yeah, we
because I remember
like 3.
One of your titles was Dennis Prager says, and now. I'm not getting this exactly right, and you can correct me if you remember what it was, but Dennis Prager says that pornography is good for...
Hasn't affected...
his last 3 marriages, and it weren't his 4th either.
Yeah. That's right.
So, okay, what was that like, putting that together and clicking publish?
It was very awkward when we met his wife and spoke with... And so recently...
Why did you have to meet his wife? Not about this.
No. She's like, I'm going to have a meeting with anyone that said this about our marriage. No, so we totally paved, we built a bridge back with Dennis Prager. He did say something like we had hurt his reputation, and I feel, we all felt really bad about that because we love Dennis too. And he's been such a rock on this side of things, and he speaks truth like a lot. Obviously, and I love his Bible commentary. It's really interesting. Like my father-in-law loves him, so he's sort of one of our heroes. And so, anyway, so I just wanted to say that too, but we reached out and.
So you dropped it. Could you, before you talk about reaching out and making a bridge, what was the aftermath like for y'all after you did that, and how much regret was there?
I don't think
because I didn't go after him nearly the way y'all went after him.
And we never really regret things. Like, it's just like, because I mean, like,
you're in the wrong business if you're in satire regretting things.
We can always say, well, it's just a joke, dude. Like, get over it. It may be true, but it's a joke. So we often have that as our defense, and so. And we'll just sort of laugh. Like, our job is to sit in the corner and laugh at everybody as they're doing all their stuff. So, like, some people think it's the coward's way out. I don't. I think it's perfectly normal. But yeah, so we did have a bit of he was mad at us. Like, he had said a few things. I think he interacted with Seth or, and Marissa, and those people were all interacting like a bit. And then, like he even stated, I think, that we had hurt his reputation, which I was like, well, I think it's what you said sort of hurt your reputation.
Yes, that is what happened.
And so maybe you should have been more aware of what you were saying. But we eventually, I think it had been a year since those jokes, and they invited me as Satan to host the PragerU gala in LA. And so I dressed as the devil.
And then just roasted Prager all night, hardcore, until they made me leave.
Made porn jokes. No, it was funny. We did have some of those like written in the script, and we were like, let's axe those jokes. So this will be really bad if we do this. So we ended up just kind of following the line, and we did a bunch of videos where, Satan was trying to stop the PragerU event. And like, so it was just me hosting and then videos of me doing stuff with my friend. Like, man, I hate this guy. Dennis is such a great stalwart person. He's really hard to fight. And, like all that stuff. Like it was all, so I think we made amends that way.
Yeah.
And that night was really funny. It was a lot of fun. It was like 2 nights before he got hurt.
Yeah.
And so.
How is he?
I don't know. I think he's still growing, still kind of getting things back.
But, I mean, I don't know how much of it's public, so I don't want to divulge it, but just to ask our viewers to please pray for his health.
Keep praying.
Yeah.
Keep praying. I think he's making progress. So, like, I don't know. I think it's very slow progress. He's an old man. He wasn't in great shape. And
wish him well.
And it was funny. There's a couple of things that happened that were really funny at that night, though. And one of them was my makeup artist was late. And the only thing I had with me were my contacts. So I put my contacts in and I'm waiting. We have like 30 minutes till I'm supposed to be on stage. And I don't have anything on, like my head. Like,
your contacts are red. Is that the point?
They're like yellow.
I see.
And so I'm downstairs and I'm waiting for my makeup artist to show up. And he's just like, he's texting me. By the way, my makeup artist, he looks like the lead singer of The Cure or something. And like, he's the only guy dressed like this at this event too. So anyway, he shows up. He's like, hey, bro. But he didn't show up yet. And this car pulled up and this tall guy gets out and he turns around. It's John Voight. And I'm standing there with my contacts in. And he's like, who are you, son? And I was like, I'm the devil. I was like, actually, I'm part of the show. Anyway, I'll see you later. I eventually made a joke. I made a joke the night of about the Jewish space laser coming after John Voight or something like that. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. But that was funny. And then he finally showed up. I got my stuff on, did the whole show. At the end, we're all doing the YMCA dance because Trump had just been elected. And so we're all up there, Dennis Prager, Adam Carolla, me, my friend Siaka, who was up. You had on the show.
What a lovely fellow.
And Siaka and I hosted this together. And so anyway, Dennis Prager comes up and he's like, hey, you did a great job. And he was in his cups a little bit.
He was what?
He was in his cups, like
what does that mean?
He had been
a
drinking a lot of wine.
Okay.
And so he's like, hey, I want to put this yarmulke on your head. And so he like goes to put a yarmulke on my head, like I'm the devil. And I was like,
well, that won't look good.
Sir, I don't think that's a good idea.
Your team does not want this.
I was like, this is going to perpetuate a lot of stereotypes. Like, don't. Oh. He's like, oh, okay. And he like kind of went on. Dude, it's funny. We had a near miss.
He doesn't wear a yarmulke.
I think he does sometimes, maybe. Not all the time. Yeah. Depends on what the material is. I don't really know exactly what he does. But anyway, yeah, so that was really funny. But we had a good time, and I think we kind of smoothed it over, and now he loves us. And then I walked around Beverly Hills dressed like the devil for the next few hours, and that was a trip too. But
what's that like?
Oh, it's funny. Just funny. People were offering to buy me drinks and stuff. Like, it was so funny. They're like, I love you.
You know what would have been cool is if you had Christian tracts that you were handing out.
I did say that to one of them. He's like, come in, have a drink with us. I'm like, oh, no, we'll have plenty of time. I've got a special place for you. And they're like, oh, it's so funny. I'm like,
thanks for watching that clip with Jarret LeMaster from the Babylon Bee. If you'd like to watch the whole thing, click the link below. And before you go, do us a favor, click like and subscribe.